My name is Daniel Hamerson, and I recently graduated from the Art Institute of Chicago. And currently, it's my goal to kind of keep pursuing my artwork full time. I do a lot of different kinds of art. I started in photography, and I've kind of moved into different like print work, and I've also done some short films as well. And lately, I've been kind of focused on design and doing digital design, and also putting some of those graphics on clothing as well. And I'm working on selling some of that stuff as well. Like this shirt right now I'm wearing is one that I printed. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to, I know I've always been passionate about clothing and design, and I think that's a good way to start to monetize some of my work. Because though I'm like happy with showing some of my fine arts work, I've had a hard time figuring out how to make money doing so.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of comic books have you read when you were a kid?
When I was
born.
When I was younger, the first comics I read were the Ghost Rider comics. Were my favorite. And I had a large collection. I always loved the flaming skull. I thought it was so cool. And as I grew a little bit older, I became very interested in manga through my exposure to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly as a child. Like I think many people of my generation, became aware of Japanese culture through stuff like that because it's so popular for everywhere.
So how do you see the big differences between movie and comic books, especially the superhero movies?
What do you mean?
That superhero movies are so popular.
Yeah.
Even so, comic books are not so sold like hot cakes, right?
That's true.
Why?
Well, I think some of it is, I think probably today all books are a little bit less popular because of the internet, and there's so many videos everywhere and like stuff to see all the time on your phone that I think it's harder for people to like put their phone away and like sit down and read something, even a comic, which is a lot easier to read a little bit more casually than like a long novel, but it still requires that I think you kind of disconnect from like the internet.
How do you like Japanese manga?
Oh, I love it. I find that it is always very interesting, and there's lots of different ideas, and I think many different manga have given me inspiration for my own works and kind of like what I'd like to express.
So what makes Japanese manga different from American comics?
Well, to begin with, you have the style, is definitely different than your traditional
characters or concept?
I think both. I think the characters do have a manga has a little bit more of an anime style, right? But also I think the way it's drawn usually, I feel like most manga I've read have quite a bit of detail and shading, and but usually I think in American comics I see more of a focus on the kind of the outline shape and more the coloring and the.
Okay, about the concept, do you know there's a manga in Japan, Buddha and Jesus going together, living in the small apartment and try to hit on girls on the street.
I love that.
That kind of manga, it could be possible in America. Of course not.
Well, I think I think maybe someone who does maybe underground comics, or someone who wants to make something different or interesting might be doing that. But in terms of having that like actually be released by a publisher in America, I don't see that as possible. I think even still in America, the comic industry is very much I think still mainly tailored towards like kids, and I think they don't really have, like, though they do have more adult comic books, I think there's much less of a market for that in America than there is.
So it's impossible.
I don't know that it's impossible, but I think you would have to.
It's not a minor publisher. It's a big publisher.
Yeah.
It's doing that. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah. No, I think, and it's very popular. I think in America, I think maybe it would be possible, but lots of things would have to like change in the industry entirely. Because right now it's really just like superhero comics, and there's not even like more interesting or different stories in comics. They still get released, but usually by an independent publisher, and it's probably not going to be like very big. Whereas I know here, even pretty strange and unique works like yours can become a very big success.
So how did you find out my manga?
Oh, well,
It's completely adult.
yes.
Right?
I found out about it actually when I was in university, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, about 2019, I'd say. And I first found out about it through the film adaptation. Yeah, and after seeing that, I started reading it and became very interested in that.
Oh, okay. So right now you are here for vacation with a friend.
Yeah. So basically, I've always wanted to come to Japan. Like I've been talking about, I enjoy a lot of
Is this your
Japanese
first
art.
time?
Yes.
Oh.
And so I gave myself a little bit of an excuse to come here because there's they do this show every year it's a very small gallery and shop in Suginami called Meteor, and it's called the Famicase exhibition. So I believe it's 250 people from all over the world submit their idea for a pretend Famicom game, and they create the design and the kind of the title for the game and kind of the tagline as well, and they display them in real cartridges in this little shop in Suginami, and having my work kind of displayed in person was a little bit of my excuse to say, hey, I'm going to come visit and make the most of this trip and meet many of the artists I'm inspired by, like you, and try to kind of take photos, maybe make some videos out here, just kind of like though I am visiting as a vacation, I'm kind of treating it as work for like what I would like to do in terms of what I'm passionate about, and I'm trying to make the most of that stuff.
So besides art and the manga, what's are you fascinated by Japanese? The food, culture, or subculture, anything?
I love the fashion.
Fashion?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
So it seems like we Japanese people are, the influenced by American fashion or westernized kind of fashion.
I think so, but I do think now maybe that's just my perspective as a foreigner, but I think in general most Japanese people have better fashion than Americans, even if they are maybe influenced by American style. I think like in general most people here I think are more fashionable and care more about clothing.
I believe New Yorkers are more fashionable.
No, I think there's exceptions, right? So you have New York, Los Angeles, even Chicago has quite a bit of fashion, but most cities in America are not quite that fashionable.
I just checked the girls on the street in America. They are wearing jeans, not skirt, so often.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I'm not really too certain as to why that is in general, but pretty much everyone wears jeans. It's pretty common.
Yeah. They love jeans.
Jeans and t-shirt is kind of like most common outfit for I think 90%
It's something
of
like
people.
a uniform in America.
Yeah, whereas here, I think that's the equivalent of someone for example, a man wearing a suit here. I think a majority of Japanese men seem to wear a business suit.
Yeah, right.
And so in America, they wear a t-shirt and jeans.
Yes.
It's much less professional and like I'm saying, I think a little bit in general less fashionable. Though there's obviously a lot of people in New York and places like that are dressing up. But
I see. So how do you care about your outfit to put on?
I mean, I think it depends on the day, but I kind of try to play it by ear, and I like to kind of have fun with it. I try not to think too much about it. I just kind of pick out what I like.
So how do you feel about Japanese girls' fashion or their attitude or their chemistry?
Well, I don't know too much about it. I'm kind of like I'm learning more as I've been here. But I think the issue for me is it's all very foreign, and it's kind of difficult for me to understand everything. But
how difficult it is to understand them?
well,
You mean get knowing about them, or how you are coming on to them? I don't know.
not even that. I think it's just I think because the cultures are very different between Japan and America. I don't necessarily understand like kind of how things socially operate here.
I see.
And I think I'm slowly learning, but it's definitely very different. Like a majority of people here are more reserved and respectful of other people, whereas in America, not everyone, but a lot of like people usually don't mind making a scene or being quite loud or maybe rude to others if it's in their own interest or if it's what they would like.
So have you tried that? In Tokyo?
I mean, not really. I'm not a super like loud kind of boastful person. It's something that maybe I should try because I think it's I think it's useful to get yourself out there. But I'm a lot more reserved and kind of like I think I identify with a lot of like the kind of the ways people operate here. But I'm trying to push out of my comfort zone and be more social because something that I've kind of struggled with is kind of staying a little bit too isolated, and I think that's been not good for me in terms of building connections and also like furthering my own artwork because I kind of stay kind of in a place that feels safe, but maybe it's actually a stagnant place.
So right now, the girls don't care about the people who are big fan of anime and manga. But before we are so-called nerd or dork, the otaku. How's the situation? Such things in America.
So it's definitely still exists, but because of the mainstream popularity of anime and stuff, I think in general people are a little more accepting of it. But there is still definitely a stigma in America.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And I think it comes from the type of person. Depends on the person, right? But there's many people in America as well who live like here, kind of like a hikikomori, where they kind of they let their interest in anime and games consume their life to the point where they don't have a social life or other life.
Seclusive kind of.
And I think that I can understand why that people might judge that, though it's to each their own if that's what you'd like to do. But I think if I were to do that, if I were to live like that, I would feel very alone, and I think it's, even though it's uncomfortable, I personally at this point really want to like make an effort to kind of like put myself out of my comfort zone and interact with people. Like that's why I contacted you and stuff because I wanted to meet you and put myself out here.
The manga otaku or computer otaku now, they're becoming rich.
Yeah.
So far, right? To some degree, since Bill Gates came, right? So now girls are aware that otaku people are not so bad.
I think so, and I think most people agree with that. I think there's definitely still a little bit of a judgment because I don't know about here, but I know in America there's still like a lot of people, especially older generations, they very much consider anime anything like that as kind of, even if it was like for adults, they still consider it cartoons for children. They don't
like Woodpecker or I don't know, the Walt Disney, type of
exactly
stuff.
I think for most Americans, if they're not aware of stuff like this, they assume that cartoons are for kids because when they think of cartoons they think of Walt Disney, Looney Tunes, something like this, where it's like something they grew up with, like the Saturday morning cartoons. And I think, for people of like my generation and older, we grew up watching anime. Like that's what was popular. There was more. We still had cartoons too, but I'd say there was probably at that time more anime on TV to watch.
So in case they watch my anime,
Yeah.
it will be a nightmare for them.
I think for many people who don't have an open mind, it would be a nightmare. Yes.
So now, it's quite rare that X-rated anime movie you can see.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. So they just watch, I don't know, or see Miyazaki Hayao movies or.
And I think that's what they might watch. Other stuff like that, I think there's a lot of stuff like that. That's kind of like it's family fun, right? It's for everyone. I think that's the appeal a lot of people get, in the same way that they might enjoy like a Pixar movie, where there might be some adult themes, but that's it, just like some themes, and it's very subtle. Otherwise, it's all cute and happy and for children, and maybe there's a bit of sadness, but it's nothing grotesque, nothing kind of crazy.
My anime is just full of shit, right?
Yeah.
Gory stuff and the raping scene, annoying girls,
Yeah.
and the big gigantic tentacles, right?
Yeah.
It's something weird for American people. Do you think?
Oh yes, but I think at least for me personally, that's part of why I was interested in it. Is I really do. A lot of what I'm inspired by and interested in artistically is the kind of the strange and the surreal and the weird, because I think that is I think those kind of like the weird and different experience, and that strange kind of almost, it's a bit dark feeling, but it's I don't know, it's a little bit like almost a nightmare, I guess, kind of feeling.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think this is a feeling that really inspires me, and I think though it kind of has bad feelings too, I think I see a lot of the positivity and the beauty in these kind of grotesque images. I see the art in that.
Okay, thanks a lot. We're gonna take 5.
Perfect.